exactly 1 minute 52 seconds. That's excellent. Your training is complete, Kropotkin. And now a more pressing matter has come to my attention. It seems that Spectre number 3, the Countess Lisa von Bismarck, has been seduced by your nemesis, British Secret Service agent 009 Blair Ballard, and she has defected to British intelligence. The tracker located in her Spectre ring has been activated, and it appears that it is now to be sold to the highest bidder. It has been sold by auction at the prop store. All the resources of Spectre are at your disposal, but we must have the ring back in our possession at all costs. It contains information vital to the operation. Anyone who's been in contact with the ring has to be eliminated immediately. And as for the treacherous number 3 and her lover Blair Ballard, a termination order has been issued and they must be liquidated with extreme prejudice. We know that Ballard will be at the auction, so it seems that your wish for an opportunity to kill your nemesis 009 has been granted. Kill Ballard, now! Welcome friends, welcome one and all. Blair Ballard, the bon vivant, at your service. I do hope that you're in fine form. If you're new to the channel, a very warm and very hearty welcome. Thanks for joining us. Please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button at the end of the video. Now, in the world of collecting and James Bond, we're really spoilt for choice. You might be interested in the novels themselves, and so a first edition of Casino Royale will be really float your boat. You might be interested in the posters, maybe the toys associated with the franchise. But for me, I really get my geek freak on when I'm presented with actual screen-used props and wardrobe items. And in that world, one name rules them all. In 1998, Stephen Lane set up the prop store to cater for geeks like me who wanted to get their hands on a piece of cinematic history. Behind these really rather innocuous doors, there be treasure. Come on, let's dig in. Now prepare to set your faces to stunned. Tim,
Blair,
thanks so much for having us.
Nice to see you again.
This is Tim, who's head of consignment and the general manager here at the prop store.
That's right.
Thanks so much. I mean, just walking in, we'll have shots later on of some of the pieces you've got in here, but it's like a kid in a candy store. It's just, you work here every day. Do you get kind of like numb to the fact you're surrounded by all these amazing things?
You never get tired of seeing this kind of stuff around the place. It's so cool. And the idea is to make you feel like a kid in a candy shop. So job done.
Oh man, it's just, I could spend like weeks here just pouring it, and I'm drooling. Got to make sure I don't dribble on any of the exhibits. Now, obviously, you've got a big auction coming up. You have their regular events. So how often do you do the live auctions?
We do the sale in the UK once a year, usually around about this time, October, November, and we also have a sale in Los Angeles, which is usually summertime, May, June, that kind of time. So we're pretty active. When we're not taking consignments for this sale, we're busy taking consignments for Los Angeles.
It's a busy job, but I mean, does it feel like work? I mean,
not really, if I'm honest. It is a hobby, got completely out of control, and I get to see this stuff every day. It's like owning it. It's wonderful.
It's just amazing. I mean, how does it differ? Obviously, because you're near Pinewood here, and you've got the offices in LA near Hollywood. How do the markets differ between the two? Are they the same sort of guys?
They do differ a little bit. We tend to be almost antiques dealers here. We're dealing with older artifacts, generally speaking, whereas Los Angeles tend to get in the production when a movie or TV show wraps up. Yes, it's if they want to dispose of them, they'll go to our Los Angeles office because they can handle the bulk consignments like that. They too get the odd really exciting item too, but they're looking at the studio system a little bit more there.
Sure. Now, without further ado, let's get stuck in. We've got a very famous suit behind us. Let's have a closer look at this amazing suit from Sean Connery.
Sure thing.
Scaramanga?
どうぞ。佐田の山的。
Domo arigato.
So, Tim, this is possibly the star lot from the James Bond goodies you have on?
Yeah, I think it depends on your point of view. For me, Sean Connery is Bond. I guess for you as well?
I think the number one comes first,
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. It is an iconic suit, and it gets a lot of screen time in You Only Live Twice. This is an Sinclair suit.
Anthony Sinclair made up Sean Connery's wardrobe. He was his tailor of choice. It has got it's fully labelled up for Sean Connery. It's tough to beat that. But this does have an additional advantage in that it screen matches as well, which is something collectors especially seek.
And I saw in the catalogue, but can you talk us through exactly how you screen match this particular suit to those scenes?
Sure thing, and it's very difficult when you've got what is ostensibly a very plain garment. You're certainly relying on Blu-rays and 4K these days, but over there on the left shoulder you can see a kind of perhaps an error in the sewing there that's caused a very distinctive kind of dip in the
Here we
fabric
go,
there.
yes, you can see it here. There's a little divot there, isn't there? A little kind of and we'll show some screenshots.
And you can see that on screen.
That's amazing. He's sitting down with the sumo wrestler or getting ushered to his seat to watch the sumo wrestling match, and it's clear as day. So it is the suit.
It is. I mean, you know, the suit speaks for itself. It's labelled. You know, everything checks out. Is that we're absolutely 100% confident in it, regardless. But then when you can screen match it, you know, without doubt, it is that suit.
It's amazing. I mean, and looking at the size, I mean, I'm 5'8" on a good day. Sean's obviously 6 foot plus. And the way it's cut as well, it's quite nice and open because he was quite, kind of barrel-chested.
He was a big guy,
big guy, wasn't he? Yeah. And I love the actual kind of material as well. You think it's kind of a plain grey on screen, but it's got a lovely kind of weave going through.
Yeah, it's like a herringbone pattern.
Yeah.
There, perhaps it's very. It's a beautiful suit.
It's beautiful. And estimates for the suit?
We're expecting this to go for around 50,000.
For a slice of...
It's the ultimate Bond piece, so it's wicked.
Actually his own suit, that's amazing. Now, just to make it clear, the shirt and the tie and the shoes and...
That's right, they're replacements to complete the display, but the shirt was made by Turnbull and Asser, so we've gone to the right people. And it just makes a wonderful display piece.
It's absolutely gorgeous. If I had the money, I'd be, I don't need both kids. I could put one into medical experiments or something.
They don't need both their kidneys.
Exactly.
Saunders, head of Section V, Vienna. You're bloody late. This is a mission, not a fancy dress ball.
We have time. Where's our man?
In the box, between the KGB minders.
Lovely girl with a cello.
Forget the ladies for once, Bond. Koskov will leave the concert at the interval. Shh. We better go.
What do we have here then, Tim?
This is Timothy Dalton's tuxedo from The Living Daylights.
Epic scene when he's getting ready for the sniper shot.
That's right, and wardrobe from Timothy Dalton as Bond is super scarce. I think this is the first piece we've ever handled. It's kind of a convoluted history to this one. It was originally made for his role in Blaze Star. It is labelled for Blaze Star. It was filmed a year prior to The Living Daylights. However, it didn't actually feature in that movie, but he kept it, wore it in Living Daylights, and you see it on screen. But what sets this apart is that it comes with a handwritten letter from Timothy Dalton confirming all of that.
So the provenance is impeccable. You can't,
as good as you can ask for.
It's just so cool. And again, the colours of the trousers and the jacket, the materials don't match up. But I've read the letter, and it's like, this is definitely the one I wore.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's just so cool. And having James Bond's tux, does it get any cooler than that?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty cool. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, we peek behind Timothy here. We've got, talk about bondage. We've got Xenia on the top here. We'll get Xenia out, and we can have a look at her helicopter combat gear.
This time, Mr. Bond, the pleasure will be all mine. Wait for your turn.
She always did enjoy a good squeeze.
Now, I think we all recognise this particular costume, but talk us through it, Tim.
Yeah, so this is Famke Janssen's helicopter costume from GoldenEye.
Very hot.
I think it's super distinctive.
It's quite racy for now. I don't think we could get away with it.
Yeah, so it's a really nice custom costume, and this one does come with a letter of authenticity from Eon Productions. So again, provenance is super cool.
I mean, but the materials, I mean, what's this made out of? It's got so many different elements to it.
Yeah, mostly like I mean, I'm not a fabric expert, but it looks like nylon. It's kind of it's almost a parachute material, the trousers.
It's amazing. And, lots of zips. If you're a zip fetishist, this is this is going to be your jam, I think. But amazing that Famke's been inside this costume. She is absolutely gorgeous. But it's, an iconic scene. I mean, Pierce Brosnan's in pretty rough shape when he gets out there at the plane crash, and then she comes down from the helicopter. He's still dazed, and gets these legs wrapped around him. It's an amazing piece. It's slightly kinky, if you ask me. What's the estimate for this one?
The estimate on this one is £8,000 to £12,000.
I think that's fair. That's fair money, and it's so interesting. I've never seen a costume like this before, really.
No, it's totally custom for the character, and I think it's quite striking.
Are you okay with pieces being sold?
They've donated pieces to charity over the years. They're very pro, that kind of activity. But they do maintain an archive, so they do keep the majority of their items, and that's why nice Bond costumes like this are pretty hard to find.
I was going to say there must be few and far between. They don't come up for auction especially this. I've never seen this come up for auction.
No, it's not a costume we've ever handled before either. It's really nice.
Fantastic. Okie dokie. Right, now let's get some of the smaller pieces out and have a look at those.
Sure.
Now, moving on, we've got Moonraker on the agenda here. So what have we got here then, Tim?
Well, Moonraker's become kind of the in vogue film. It seems
it's gone full circle. It's back to being cool again now, isn't it?
Very much so. And what we've got here is an astronaut's laser blaster and one of the model miniature astronauts as well.
So cool. Now, this was based on an Uzi, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a custom build, super safe, not practical in any way for firing or causing any damage on set. So easy to hand out to all the extras for filming. Custom made, all beautifully aged. You can see the weathering and the time is really starting to take its toll. As far as a kind of patina, for want of a better word.
I was going to ask you about that because part of it's not just auctions for you guys. You actually help restore delicately and gently sometimes.
Yeah, restoration, it's more about preservation than
Preservation,
restoration. You know, we were very reluctant to sort of replace anything. But if something is deteriorating in some way and we can do something to stabilise that, we'll do that.
Because I was reading up before coming here today about the Nostromo.
Yeah.
That was, because you've done,
Yeah, literally, that was missing parts, and I think there was a raccoon living inside it or something. So,
Crikey.
that had to be saved. So that's what we did. We took that on as a project, and brought it back to its former glory.
Great stuff. Now, also, I was going to talk about, because for some, if you're living in the States, because you had firearms in the past for sale, but you can't sell them here in the UK because
you can. I mean, there's just so many loopholes and things to deal with, paperwork. You can own firearms, but when you're dealing something like this, which is a science fiction weapon, it doesn't cross any boundaries at all, and it's completely legal to own this. I would imagine all around the world, no problems at all.
I used to have one of the cap guns when back in the day. But I
bet they're banned now as well.
Yeah, exactly. Makes a noise, my gosh. But it's absolutely wicked. That's so cool. And let's have a chat, because there's an action man inside.
Yeah, so you've got eagle eyes. You can see for people of a certain generation, you can see that's eagle eyes. And obviously it's easier for a production to, rather than build puppets from scratch, they'll take something that's commercially available and then build a miniature around it. It makes much more sense. Saves a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I love the little details. We'll get some good B-roll of that, because it really is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's very detailed. Even the little patches on the sleeves, they've got although it's faded a little bit, it's all there.
Now, what are the estimates for both these pieces?
The estimate on this one is 6,000 to 8,000, and the rifle is 8,000 to 12,000.
Oh man, that'd be so cool to have in your collection, I reckon. Now, these two I'm particularly excited about. We did a video recently about the ST Studios from Russia with Love Attaché case.
Oh, okay.
Which came with, obviously, the knives coming out the side of the case itself.
Yeah.
But this is actually one of the
knives made for filming. Yeah, both these knives have come from Burt Luxford, who's kind of a legendary name in the early Bond films, and first time we've ever seen or handled anything like this at all. And props from those early Bond films are just so scarce.
Talking about handling, is it possible for me to actually
certainly
pick this one up?
I have some protection for you.
Oh my gosh, yes, we need to suit up for the deep dive. But that's just unbelievable, because they are such an iconic part of the film. Now, how many of these were actually made for the film?
There were 4 of those made, and they're all handmade, so they're all slightly different. But I think as a Bond fan, I think it's a pretty iconic shape and knife. I think most people recognise it.
Absolutely, just pops out the side of the case, and obviously crucial part of the film as well in the end, with the fight with Red Grant on the train. Absolutely iconic. I can't believe I'm actually holding this. This is one of those moments. This will, Daddy's having a good day.
It's pretty amazing.
It's so iconic. I mean, that shape, the role it has in the film, and the fact it's so rare. And as you say, the Connery era films especially, props just don't come up for auction that often. So this was one of 4.
One of 4 handmade by Burt Luxford for filming. Super rare. No idea where the others are, if they've survived. So it's a pretty unusual opportunity to own a piece from that film.
And estimates are?
The estimate on this one is 8,000 to 12,000.
I think that's a bargain. I think it's a bloody bargain. If you've got the money, this is just, it does, the mind boggles. That is just super cool. Now, how shall I put this back here like this?
Just very carefully.
Yes, indeed. And over here we've got the throwing knife from Thunderball.
Thunderball, yeah. Now, again, this is a pretty famous scene. And we've got the still there, which has also been signed by Burt, showing that iconic moment in the film.
Just as he's, Bouvard throws the knife and he's like stuck, isn't he?
Just think Sean's going to lose the fight, and
then he pulls it down on top of it. Yeah, it's absolutely iconic. So it's got a signed. Yeah,
so it's like I say, it originated from the collection of Burt Luxford, and he signed a photo when it was first collected.
And the estimates for this one?
The estimate for this one is 7,500 to 9,500.
It's oddly specific.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that is, but yes, oddly specific.
Yes, but 2 absolutely iconic pieces for your collection. If you've got the money,
chances are you won't see anything like this again.
Now, this is one of my favourite lots.
Mine too, actually.
Great minds think alike. Talk us through what this is.
So this is a Spectre Ring. from Thunderball. You see the guys, Largo and his henchmen. You see certainly Largo and one henchman wearing the rings. I would assume they're in that scene. They're all wearing their rings.
Sure.
But this is the only one I'm aware of. It's certainly the only one we've ever handled and seen and offering to auction. So it's incredible.
So, I mean, again, yet another iconic piece.
You can.
Okay, I've got the gloves on. So if you're watching potential buyer, it's in safe hands. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely exquisite. Oh. Again, I'm having another moment here. Look, I mean, it's in such good condition as well.
Yes, it's tarnished a little bit. It's lost some of its gold, but you can see that, which again is all about the patina. It shows its age, and I think I don't think it detracts from it in any way.
Maybe I should join Spectre. And estimates, I mean...
we're expecting this to sell for £10,000. I think it's got,
It's got the legs, I think.
Yeah, I think that sounds very reasonable to me.
I mean, a real Spectre ring. It's just like, these things just don't come up for auction. Oh, incredible. Thanks so much for letting me just handle this piece of cinematic history.
My pleasure. We will set you on the way out.
Yeah, exactly, metal detectors. In auctions past, has there been a James Bond prop or piece of wardrobe that you fell in love with, or what's been the biggest prize?
As far as Bond goes, I actually think this is my favourite thing we've ever handled. I just think it ticks all the boxes, and given its age and rarity, I'm hard pushed to beat that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it is just so cool, so cool. Okay, I'm going to put this back. Let's move on before I pocket that and get myself into lots of trouble. But thanks so much. Thanks so much for letting me have a look.
No problem.
Now, this is a very interesting lot.
Yes, piece of history.
Tell us a bit about what's going on here.
Okay, so this was kept by the family of the man who designed Scaramanga's kitchen on the island set of Man with the Golden Gun.
That's so random.
So it was a very futuristic design, and I believe the production sought high and low to find somebody to come up with the whole design of his lair. So the man who designed the kitchen was presented this on set during filming, and it has its original bag, which has property of Colibri on it, where the guys, of course, made the cigarette lighter, and it's the original wooden mock-up for the Golden Gun. All the pieces come apart.
Oh, so that you can dismantle it.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And it's in super detail. Wow. And it's just amazing. We put a valuation of 4,000 to 6,000 on it, but it's just one of those random things that are one of a kind, and it's just impossible. We'll let the buyers decide.
You can't
what
put an
it's
estimate
worth.
on it.
No, it's very unusual.
Very, I mean, it's the details there, but I didn't realise it actually came apart. That's so cool.
Yes, it does.
Oh, wow. Just on another tangent, I mean, for your own personal collection, what stuff do you like to collect?
Me personally, Princess Bride is my favourite movie.
Cary Elwes, brilliant.
Perfect film for me. And I do have a sword, his sword and his mask actually from that film. And that's. I try and keep a very small collection at home. I don't want to go too crazy. I mean, I get to enjoy this stuff here. So.
Yeah.
But that's my favourite movie. That's a film that always puts me in a good mood, and I think that is the core for many collectors. What they collect is what they're passionate about, what they grew up with, and for the most part, I think that's why collectors buy what they buy.
Sure. I mean, there are different kinds of. You get the sort of hoarders,
yeah,
who are never going to let they lock them away and have their own collections, I suppose. And then you have the guys who maybe could be persuaded for the right.
Usually it's with those sort of collectors who are going to sell items. It's usually to upgrade to another piece, which is the logic and the process for most collectors. That's the process they follow.
Wow. Would you let go of any of your pieces?
I mean, I never say never, because there's always
inconceivable.
Inconceivable. There's always it's not about the money, but obviously sometimes there's a price comes along that you just can't refuse.
Sure.
The Godfather offer,
what's that?
It just
you can't refuse the horse's head, absolutely.
But the collection I have at home, I want to keep.
Sure.
For the most part.
But as you say, surrounded by all the other goodies you've got here, it's you get
it's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful. Well, all I can say, Tim, is thanks so much for showing us around.
Absolute pleasure, Blair. You know, honestly, always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. We did meet very, very briefly back in 2014, I think.
Yep. Did a similar thing, I
Did
believe,
a similar
yeah.
thing,
Yep.
yes. It was they had the sub from Thunderball. You had the underwater sled.
Oh, yes.
That
was
one.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and a few. I think there was a Roger
That was
Moore.
our first auction. That was 2014.
In
that's
Westfield,
right.
yeah, and you had the Roger Moore kind of safari shirt, I think, and a few other bits and pieces. It was great fun. But
Yeah, that was a good sale.
it's
yeah.
good to see you again. Thanks so much, Elaine. And
My absolute pleasure.
it's brilliant. Now, if you've enjoyed this, please do hit that like and subscribe button. We'll put links down below for all the links to the auction site, the catalogue, how to register to bid. So when's the auction happening?
9th, 10th and 11th of November. So the auction catalogue is live now, propstore.com. You'll find the catalogue so you can peruse all the lots now, and you can place absentee bids as well.
It's all done online because you're not doing kind of live.
We'll have a live auction with an auctioneer and all our phone clerks and internet clerks, but there won't be public
seating
in the room just because of COVID.
Sure, it's just
hopefully
too
back to
difficult
normal
organise.
next year.
Well, fingers crossed. But again, thanks so much. I mean, I've had some moments today. The ring.
It's good to see the passion. That's what we're all about.
Absolutely. And the guys out there, you'll see this as well. I mean, it's just amazing to be able to handle these priceless props. I mean, it's incredible. I can't thank you enough. But for now, this has been a very, very happy, ecstatic little schoolboy, Blair Ballard, the Bon Vivant, bidding you a very Bond farewell. Stay safe, friends.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscriber button. We'd really like to hit that landmark 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. If you haven't checked out the other videos we've done, please do check them out. I think you find them quite fun. But for now, stay safe and we'll see you next time.